Thanks for staying with us. So last week, a news broke that broke a lot of hearts of many Nigerians about an alleged sexual against a minor by somebody quite popular in Lagos State by the name of Dr. Femi Olaleye. The news got out on social media last week, and it got a lot of attention. And this news was initially broken by Princess Damilola Adekoya, she's probably known as Princess, on social media. And then the conversation was taken up by Kate Henshaw. And from then on, lots of comments on social media concerning this very popular doctor in Lagos State. When it comes to the issue of sexual violence against teenagers, youngsters, it's a story nobody wants to talk about and hope never happens to a loved one. But the truth is that in the past years, we've had to face the reality that these are things that we must talk about and bring on the front burner, because every child deserves justice, if indeed they were. We all experienced the issue that happened with Baba Jesha, and we're grateful that investigation went on, and then he was convicted finally. This case also, Princess brought out the issue, and we're going to be having Princess in a moment to tell us exactly how the news got to her and what she found out, and then we'll take it on. Hopefully at some time you get to speak to the police to know, because yesterday in Vanguard specifically, I read that the case is yet to be filed to court, especially because this case was brought to the police March 19, 2022. And the civil society was wondering 6 months later, we're yet to file the case in court. What's delaying it? So these are the questions we're going to ask. But first, let's speak to Princess. So we have on the phone Damilola Adekoya, probably known as Princess, to discuss this issue of violence against minors and this particular issue against Dr. Femi Olaleye. Good morning, Princess. Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm here.
Good to have you on the show. So we know how passionate you are about this matter, and I mean, many Nigerians have celebrated the fact that the past case with Baba Jesha came to a conclusive end. In this situation, these allegations are pretty stringent, and they're against somebody that is well known in Lagos, I mean, Nigeria across also. So far, it's a social media allegation, I would like to call it, because we're yet to see it in court. But tell us exactly how the news was broken to you, and what you heard, and what exactly has been done so far from your end.
Okay, thank you very much. So Dr. Femi Olaleye was actually my friend up until when I heard this news. And I met him years ago through someone. I had screening done at his place, and since then we've had projects done together. Now, because of his nature, he's very friendly and, very passionate about what he does. We keep recommending him to other people. So I think about a week ago, his wife called me, and she knows I'm his friend. So she said, haven't you heard? I'm like, hear what? And I was like, what's going on? And then she told me, oh, he had been her niece, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, are you joking? She said, no. Now, let me correct something you said. Maybe you got the wrong information. When people just put things out there, like, I don't know, maybe they are doing it for damage control or to make the evil sound better. The case was not reported in March. The case was reported on the 30th of November last year, 2021. Yes. 2021. So that's one they are saying March. No. Anthony Police Station, the case was reported. And this was immediately after the wife found out. So I was shocked. I said to her, I'm going to have to call him. Give me the details. She told me how she found out just on the 29th and immediately called his mom. And then she told, there was a round table, they sat down and they asked, as she came over and they asked him, what happened? And the child spoke and said, he has been molesting me. 2 weeks she got into that house, he started molesting her 2 weeks, just as she got there. And the mother is critically ill. That's why this woman took her in. Now, my annoyance is the mother was there. He said, oh, okay, I'm sorry. But the wife was devastated. This went on for 1 year and 9 months, and she's just finding out. And The response of the mother was not too encouraging because she kept saying he should apologize, which he did. So there are several apologies by him. Please, let's note, because people just go on air and on the social media and say whatever. No, he has confessed several times on video, in messages, in voice notes, in writing. So this started 2021, not March, and they've been trying to cover up. And like I said before, I'm going to say it again. Anytime there's an abuse and you go through state CID Pansi, the policemen there, at least 65 of them are very corrupt and complacent. I am telling you the fact. They will drag their feet, they will collect information, they will collect evidence, and later tell you they can't find it.
Okay.
So this has been going on, and I said to her, how could I have known? I didn't know.
All right, let me pause you for a second, Princess. Let me get a few more questions in for you.
The strongest evidence in cases of defilement is, of course, the medical one. Did they get a medical report? And if you can confirm where?
They took the child to Mirabel Center. They did a thorough investigation. And that was after he even confessed. He explained what he had been doing and said that he had brought this evil upon himself. He was ready to make restitution. This is not a joke. This is real life.
All right, so I'm going to pause you for a second because I was trying to get in the police. As I said, I read the reports in Vanguard yesterday. But, I mean, because Dr. Femi Olaleye is somebody that he's a friend of the house too, because he's been on Your View several times. He's been in my church recently. I've been tested. In fact, he did my cryoruptor, whatever, like this cervical thingy. I went to his test.
I hope you didn't go for screening there.
I went for screening. He screened me.
Because it will shock you. It will shock you to know that Dr. Femi Olaleye, even from very reliable resources, puts a hidden camera so that he can watch his patients later.
But this is many years ago. So the point is that the reason why, because I also know him very well, and he's somebody that has also screened me personally. So I had to put a call through him this morning to let him know we're going to be discussing this matter. And what he did was that he said he's going to send me his official response. So I'd like to also read that to Nigerians. So we have the balanced conversation here. According to Dr. Femi Olaleye, and this is the message he sent out there to his partners. He said, "Dear partner, I am sorry to inform you that my organization and my name is on social media for the wrong reasons. I underestimated the situation and thought it was a domestic issue being weaponized by my wife and those who are encouraging her to destroy our home. But now that it's out there on social media, my person, my work, my corporate and individual partnerships and friendships are being threatened by this business false allegation." He says, this regrettable situation has been on about 10 months. So verify that you're right, 10 months. I was towing the path of peace and reconciliation in an attempt to save the marriage. But this regrettable trend on social media is directly as a result of my recent return to our matrimonial home. I have decided to fight against the false and malicious allegations and, of course, what now looks like a setup and a blackmail. This matter is receiving the attention of the relevant authorities, and I shall let you know the outcome of investigation by the authorities. While I eagerly await my exoneration from this wicked and malicious accusation, I think it's only prudent to stay silent on social media for the time being. So that's his own official response to all the allegations. So he believes it's malicious and is a blackmail. So now let me come to you. Yes, go ahead.
Morayo, I'm going to send you a letter. And this is he called me. Try to, Princess, I know you will be very pissed. I know you'll be disappointed. Look, Dr. Femi knows he's lying. He didn't return to his matrimonial. He broke into the home. Because he has been asked to stay away from that home. And he has committed atrocities here. So I'm going to send you a letter for you to know he has done something here in NHS as well. And Dr. Femi should not make me the annoyance is that he's not remorseful. Malicious for what? Why is it that when people are caught molesting kids, why is it they say, you want to bring me down? What do you have that people want to bring down? The child in question is the most important. Yes. That's the same thing his brother Ijesha said, that they want to bring him down. Yeah. Now, the facts are there. Dr. Femi Olaleye, I know you are watching, and if you're not watching, somebody should tell you to watch. You confess to something several times, the same way. We have videos. There is your voice note, your own written, and I hear you are even saying your lawyer asked you to lie. Who does that? Who says that? My annoyance with you is you have done this evil and you are still trying to play the people.
Okay,
who does this?
Princess, it's important to remind you that these are until we get to court, because we have to be very careful. We don't want to be sued for... we have to be very careful. These are still allegations until the court categorically tells us this has happened, because we have evidences, as you said. There are the evidences out there. But so far, it's on social media, so we have to be very careful how we take it. It's still an allegation.
I am not talking of evidence on social media, Murayo. I'm not talking of the one on social media. I won't just come online and talk if I have not done my groundwork. I am telling you that it is even appalling since November 2021 that this case has not been charged.
Yes, Princess,
and I'm telling you that one of the reasons is because he kept on bribing and intimidating his wife and the kids. That is why the police are dragging their feet. Tell me why a case that was reported in November has not been charged to court. This guy has been locked up twice. Please, whatever we are doing, let's be truthful. That's my own.
Okay.
Yes. Since November, if it's an allegation, maybe they will charge him to court.
Okay, let me pause you for a second. Mariam wants to ask you a question. Go ahead.
Princess, you know, you just came off this very big case that we've all celebrated, and there was a process, and you stood by it until, you know, we got the conviction. What do you think this victim in this case can do to get, you know, to get the justice that you got in the previous situation? What is it that they are doing? Is it that this particular perpetrator alleged perpetrator is too powerful to be handled the way Baba Ijesha was handled? Or is it that the victim is not working, the victim's family is not working well enough to pursue this?
So the victim's biological mother is very sick. And as you can see, the auntie right now is devastated because of the whole issue. And the girl is extremely traumatized. But in the case of Baba Ijesha, there were people sponsoring him, insisting that this case must not go to court. And with the likes of people like Iyabo, always coming forward, always speaking up, and this was really tough for me. I nearly lost my sanity. I was threatened. They tried to kill me several times. But I'm saying to you now, I want you to look at something. Two things that stand out. In Baba Ijesha's case and in Doctor's case, somebody has been accused. You say people are lying. Why are you afraid to go to court? Why are they dragging their feet? Number one. Number two, in Baba Ijesha's case and in this case, there is a woman, elderly woman who stands out. In Baba Ijesha's case, it was Mama Rebo. In this case, it's the mother of Dr. Femi Olaleye saying, this is not a new occurrence. Why are they blowing it out of proportion? Number two. Number three, people saw evidence. And fine, we have to give a lot of the important ones in court. We couldn't bring everything to social media. Good. But even at that, everybody was saying, oh, maybe they are trying to tarnish his image. The same thing is happening in the case of Dr. Femi Olaleye. Number four, Baba Ijesha was granted bail and he began jubilating. They began using him in movies just to spite us, to say, oh, he has come back, he's fully back. Dr. Femi Olaleye, who was said not to set foot in his home because he was granted bail, has now gone there to take over so that his kids and his wife don't have access. Look at all these occurrences and tell me the truth. I want us to be very, very factual. Dr. Femi Olaleye is right now hiding in his own home in Maryland, where he also molested a neighbor's daughter and procured an abortion for her. So please, people, what I'm saying is this.
Princess, these are strong allegations. Princess, these are strong allegations. Yeah.
You will know me. I will not even open my... I have spoken, and again, another one. Baba Ijesha had an ex-wife who left him unceremoniously and never wanted to have anything to do with him. And I knew something was wrong from that moment and did not report him or report anything before this happened. In the case of Dr. Femi, he also has an ex-wife who he also abused her cousin. So please, if Dr. Femi is saying everybody is lying, no problem, why are they dragging their feet? Why doesn't
we'll find out in a moment. Let me pause you for a second.
His wife?
Let me pause you for a second. I want to bring in the police. I'm going to go on a break. When you come back, we're going to bring in the police to find out exactly why are they dragging their feet exactly. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing these allegations made against Dr. Femi Olaleye, who is a very famous doctor in Nigeria. We've heard from Princess, who was the one that actually initially broke the news. We've had an official statement from Dr. Olaleye himself, which I read. Now we're going to be speaking with David Hundeyin, who is a PRO for the police in Lagos, to tell us, give us an update. Sorry, Benjamin, I do apologize. Benjamin Hundeyin, he is the spokesperson for the police here in Lagos, going to tell us exactly, giving us an update on the case and answer the question everybody's asking. Why is this case not being charged to court? Good morning, Benjamin Hundeyin. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning.
Good to have you on the show.
It feels good to be on the show today.
I need the volume higher because I can't hear you properly. But so far we've been discussing this matter, the allegations leveled against Dr. Olaleye, and the question everybody's asking is, it's been 10 months. How come this case is yet to be charged to court?
Okay, now we need to get something clear here, that this case was first reported to the police March 2022, this year. So it's not 10 months like some people are saying.
Okay.
And why the case hasn't been charged to court is because of the complexities of the case. Now, you know, or you might not know, but the fact remains that this incident happened in 2020. And it was not reported in 2020. Nobody knew about it. So the first time the police would get wind of this matter was March this year.
Okay.
So, for cases of this nature, you would have to carry out medical examination, and the result at some point is something that some people might want to contest, because this happened 2 years ago, and now you are carrying out an examination this year. So, because of these complexities, the case file was sent to our legal department for a proper review of the entire case, so that the legal department would advise on the appropriate charge to give before it is charged to court. So as we speak, we are expecting a feedback from our legal department.
Okay.
So, Mr. Benjamin, sorry, I don't remember your official title. Is it possible, can you possibly investigate complicity on the part of your staff or your team? Because according to Princess, the case was reported at the police station in Antony. And if they have a date of the report as to be last year, November, can you possibly investigate, some compromises happening from your side or your team side in this matter?
Definitely. If we receive a complaint of complicity on the part of our staff, definitely we would investigate such. But the records available to me indicate that this case was reported at the gender unit at the state headquarters in March this year.
But it's been 6 months, sir, and people are wondering why. But the delay is a bit suspicious. The fact that this is a very influential person. Yes.
Now I'll explain that part. In this case, the wife is a major witness. The wife is somebody that needs to testify in court if the case eventually gets to court. And this same wife approached us to say she had exams to write outside the country, and that she would like us to give her some time to go and write her exams and come back. It was on that basis that the husband was granted bail, because he couldn't be held indefinitely. And she came back to the country, and 10 days ago she showed up to say, okay, I'm back. We can proceed with the case. So we need to get the full story, that what some people might call delay is not entirely on the part of the police.
So we hear, based on Princess' account, that the child was already taken to Mirabel, and we know that that is one of the centers that you would go, for proper verification of what may have happened to her physically. And if you have that already and have access to the girl or the girl's family, why is it still taking so long? And why do you need why is it just the wife that you need to be there to carry on with the case? Is the girl's account not important enough or strong enough?
Did you get that, PRO? Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Are you there? Hello? We're having some network issues. We'll try to reconnect with him. So we'll reconnect with him. Princess, are you still there?
I'm here.
So you've heard the police. He's saying that the case did not get to the case available. I mean, the case did not get to him until March. But just like you said, it was reported last year in Apapa. So he said he's going to check for discrepancies. But the last question is yet to be answered, which is really important. They have the Maribel Center's report. They have the confession from the girl. They have the accusation from the wife. Why is it taking so long to charge this case to court?
I also wanted to ask Benjamin, why, if you have an issue with the dates, if Mirabel's date shows last year November, it means that there was complicity on the part of police officers. Because what Princess is talking about is something that whether we like it or not, we must admit that we've seen.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I wish I could see that man you are talking to and tell him he's lying. Let me tell you, I've seen them arrange boys, suspected fraudsters, under 24 hours and charge them to court. Something was reported November 2021 with evidence. So this guy was locked up, released, locked up again. His wife was present. So you didn't charge him to court. She was around. She's always been around. Even if she was not around and she traveled, it was only for a short while. Now I'm asking, Morayo, in Nigeria that we know, somebody committed a crime. What are you waiting for to charge him to court? You have evidence, so all these things, and he's saying math. Why is he saying math? Look, something happened in Pansi, and I've never hidden it. That's state CID. There's somebody they call Inspector Musa Nuruddin and Blessing Nwoko. They were working under Margaret Igodalo. I'm calling their names because this is a fact. Margaret Igodalo heads the gender department. She tries her best, but I said to her, ma, if somebody at the top is working and the people with you are working against you, they will be drawing you back. I complained about some things. She said, am I sure? I said, ma, you can investigate. She investigated. She found out I wasn't lying. These people are corrupt. This Blessing and Nuruddin, and they were caught. Please, are you telling me that I don't know I'm the one that something happened to? Morayo, I am telling you, 65% of the policemen in that country are complacent and corrupt. So the little percentage that are working at, they will do everything to rubbish what they are doing. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Yeah. Tell me, why is his network bad now? Mr. What do you call it? Why is your network bad when they ask you that a case that was reported in November, even if it was reported in March, with evidence, clinical evidence, medical evidence,
I'm told he's back. Damn it. Princess, I'm told he's back now. Let me come back to him. PR, are you still there? Hello, PR, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so Mariam asked an important question because she was saying that we have a report from Mirabel Center. We have the confession of the girl. We have the allegations from the wife. And we have all these evidences before us. Why is it taking so long for the legal department to actually charge this case to court?
Like I said, the case file is with the legal department. And we await their response. So
legal department of the police or of the state?
Of the police.
Of the police.
Of the police at state CID. At the State Criminal Investigation Department, Yaba. Of the police, yes.
Is there usually a timeline?
Princess is making allegations. She's saying you arraign young boys, fraudsters, 24 hours after they are charged. Why is it taking so long to arraign this one?
Has evidence.
That there is evidence against. Now, I need to explain something to you. This is a case that many people are interested in. The public is largely interested in this case. Yeah. We don't want a case where people would say the police did shoddy investigation, the police did shoddy prosecution, that the police was the reason why the case was struck out. Now, to get a watertight case, it will be better for the wife to also be there to not just commit a written statement, to also testify. So I don't think it will help anybody if we would just wait for the wife to be prepared to be back in the country to charge this case. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, we await the report of the legal department. Okay. So it's just... all
right, sir. Let me let Nima ask you the final question.
Mr. Benjamin, sorry. You know, you keep referring to the wife's witness account as if in rape cases that's the most important account. Except, you know, she has video evidence. We can't rely on that evidence in a rape case. the most reliable one is a medical report, which they have from Mirabel Center. Why can't you proceed based on that?
And okay, you are picking on my statement about the wife, but you are ignoring what I said about the legal department.
Okay.
That we are waiting
I think that was very clear, PRO. I think we need to speak to the head of your legal department. That's really what we need to do, because obviously, or maybe we get in touch with the IG who can help us expedite action from the legal department. That's really the nutshell of this conversation. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin, for speaking to us this morning. We appreciate it. Princess, your final words, because I'd like the ladies to discuss this. This is not just about this young girl. It's about other young girls who might be in this position. And there's another factor we're going to also discuss, maybe with the ladies. But let me get your final words so I can let you go. Go ahead, Princess.
Okay. Morayo, I couldn't hear him very well, but I heard what you people were saying. They don't need, the woman has given a statement. The victim has given a statement. The doctor himself has given a confessionary statement and video in Anthony since November. Please, what else do you need to charge the case to court? If you need witness statements in court, when that day comes, they will say, okay, today you are giving your own statement in court. That one is different. Charge the case to court. Let the case go to the DPP. The police are dragging their feet because of Femi's godmother, and I have told them it won't work. This is clear, Morayo.
Princess.
You cannot say it has taken you this long to charge someone to court with all this evidence since November 2021.
YK has a question for you.
And you're telling me that something is not wrong with the Nigerian police force.
Okay.
Princess, you are making some serious allegations against certain people. You have said that he has video cameras in his office.
Yes.
A lot of the ladies, even on this table, have been examined by him. Do you have evidence to prove that he has video cameras in his office? Have you seen the videos?
My sister, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. But I'm telling you, if you've been examined there, Elodira, you know I will not just come and say I'm telling you, Elodira, you don't know anything. But Morayo, I'm going to send you some things. Please, Morayo, I'm going to send you some things after this interview. Okay. That Mr. Onde, how I wish he can face me like this. Because you can see he's not answering you directly. Me, I'm answering you with facts. Tell me in which country or continent a rape case from November last year, the person has not been charged for. If he's not guilty, please, why are they dragging their feet? Okay. And he couldn't even answer you directly.
I think that has been communicated. Let me let you go.
Is dragging their feet. That's
been communicated. Thank you very much, President. Let me let you go at this point. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today, because as I said, this is an issue that every person in Nigeria is very concerned about. I'll go on a quick break. When we come back, the ladies will now express our thoughts on all that's been said so far. Stay with us, and we'll also get the calls and tweets and also your messages. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. All right, so Princess said we should dira, but I think more seriously, this is a really sad situation because there's a child involved, and a lot of young girls go through this, and they have nobody to fight for them or defend them. And when we see these kind of opportunities, we bring it on the front burner because we need to set a new precedent to ensure that these girls get justice if indeed they were defiled. In this case in particular, you've heard from Princess, you've heard from Dr. Femi Olaleye, we've heard from the police. And the concern we've talked about so far is the fact that the legal department of the Nigerian police are dragging their feet for at least 6 months to charge this case, or a year, to charge this case to court. And that's questionable. That's one angle.
Very, very.
There's an angle of the fact that the wife is being alleged to be trying to victimize or to blackmail her husband. I don't know what, that's what according to Dr. Olaleye is saying, that she is having these malicious allegations against her, which is, according to him, is false, and he's trying to blackmail him. I don't know what that is about. And thirdly, there's a part of the elders, you know, like Mama Rainbow in the other issue, and this one, the allegation being held against the mother of Dr. Femi, saying that she was saying that there's nothing, this is nothing new under the sun, in a nutshell. That they should forgive him, that, you know, because we all heard the audio where she was telling the wife that, listen, my son can't die, you can't kill my son. There's nothing that he has done that's not been done before in the world. These are.
You heard that audio?
Yeah, I heard the audio. And I think it was Princess that sent that audio to me. You know, there's nothing that the world has not heard before. You know, that these are things that her son would not die, and that, you know, at least he has apologized, stuff like that. So there's that part of, okay, where do culture, Where do we draw the line between culture and a case like this? You know, because people say, it's your sister, it's your brother, it's your daughter. Please, now they know how we do it in Yoruba culture. Just let us not shout it too much. We'll find a way to resolve it within our family. So that's there. Those are the 3 different areas I'd like us to discuss. Which other one jumps at you?
It's 4.
It's 4. Which other
one? The betrayal of the trust of women who know how serious issues around women are, who have put their cause, who have joined this cause, who have trusted a medical foundation. People will say, don't go to an individual, go to an establishment. Yeah. Who have trusted and put their words, the Kate Enshos, the other ladies, people who have put their stake on it, people who have sponsored free clinics on Fridays, and women whose bodies most likely might have been violated in a very, very negative, covetous way, as reported by or alleged by Princess in this situation. Because I have had to see, all my life when I saw fertility doctors, I saw male fertility doctors. One of them, the particular one of them, did something that I thought, kill me, in checking if I was ovulating or developing. And I felt violated. I cried that day till the next day. I don't understand why, when women now, you know, medically in Islam is the only reason a male can touch a woman. And if I allow that exception, why should I be abused in a way that I feel so insecure? I remember that day, usually I go with my husband for each of my fertility treatments. And I said to him, I can't visit you. And he said, come for this particular check. It was transvaginal scan. He said, come for this check on a weekday. I said, my husband will not be available to come with me. So put it back on weekends that we usually come. He said to me, if you don't come this weekend, I will not be in Lagos by weekend, so I won't see you. And I needed to be sure I was ovulating. So I went on my own. And that was the day that it happened. So sometimes these situations, they are not ordinary. You know, I don't want to see this. And I believe that if an allegation of this seriousness is made against a person who has a professional reputation to prevent, you don't wait for police. You don't wait a year.
Right, let me take this call from Timmy from Alimosho. Timmy, are you there from Alimosho?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. As a married man, you see, the closest person to you is your wife. You understand? I feel, you know, this, kind of allegation made by these so-called doctors, right, can't be, made up by the woman, regardless of that person. You get what I'm saying? This man is a rapist, alleged or, whichever name you want to call it. I see no reason why the Nigerian police force is taking this wrong. Let them arrest the Yahoo boy now within 30 minutes once he charges the report. No matter how good the doctor is, that is why I don't allow my wife to go to work on your wife. You understand? What to make a madirada, this man, she take this case with serious,
Thank you, Mr. Tim. All right, so
my brother has this tune. I don't think he ever released it. It's called Oga Doctor, and he composed that tune because of his wife at the time, her experience with her gynecologist. And he didn't like it. He didn't like it. So in that song, he says, we need our women to treat our women for us. Why will a man take his nonsense hand and put it in my woman's? So men generally do not like male gynecologists, especially if they're not above board.
How would you know?
How would you know?
Something happens before you realize the person.
There must be regulation.
I don't want to.
I want us to bring this conversation back to this matter. Let me take this call, and I'll come back to YK. Mrs. Lawal, are you there?
Yeah. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning, madam.
Please, I don't want to contribute to what you are saying. The same thing has happened to me for a few years now. So the guy, that day I was on fertility stuff in a hospital in Olaleye. I'm forgetting the name of the hospital. So when I do go there with a friend, the friend is a nurse. She was the person that maybe the nurse, the man, the doctor. So on this particular day, we want to examine for what your partner my ovulation session. So he now said, I should pull off my clothes. Normally, I have to pull off. Then he said, my friend cannot come in. The nurse there, she cannot come in. I'll be the only person with him to be in the office, right? So I did say what he said. So he was just saying, I pulled off. He now came in and said, let him test. I said, okay. They start touching some funny part like my breast. And I went down towards my vagina. I was like, what are you trying to do? I don't want to test you to make sure if you are ovulating. I was like, doctor, please, go straight to the point and do what you are supposed to do. So now I just saw him pulling off his trousers. I was like, what happened? Or the man said, want to make sure to know that maybe I'm really good in bed. But if my husband cannot do it, let him try it. I'll be productive. Bang.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Laval. I want us to bring it back to this matter because there's one thing of the doctor's malpractice in his office. But there's a whole different thing where in your house, a child is being molested. Your husband is molesting your niece or your sister. That is the real conversation. We need a whole day. We will have a part 2 of this. Because, interestingly, I was lucky enough recently to have a meeting with my old classmates from Corona, and we're talking. And some of them were not married. And they were telling me some of these issues. Some people, they were giving me gist of guys in this situation where they are cheating on their wives with the most unlikely people. And the reasons they were giving, I was like, hey, we need a show on this. But that's a different matter. But let's come back to this girl. Why are husbands, even did this happen, it's still an allegation, why would you molest somebody, a niece, a minor? That's a crime.
See, that the wife even reported this, knowing how a lot of people like to cover up. I mean, I commend her, and I also commend Princess for constantly using her voice, being that loud voice in the wilderness. This is not an easy thing to come and say, to call out somebody, especially someone who is, who has influence, you know. And, you know, sometimes I'm afraid for her when the way she talks, and, you know, she calls out almost everyone. And I just say, well done to that. We have constantly said to people, you know, when you see something, say something. But I know that with this sort of case, it's because the people that are the perpetrators are husbands, fathers, brothers, you know, if they are male, or aunties, uncle, mothers. They're so close, they're close family members. It's hard to want to call them out for their bad behavior. You're afraid of what the consequences and repercussions will be on their lives, on their careers. And for them to, I mean, for his wife to have done that, we thank her for that, because it's also about that child. Eventually, that child, a lot of the victims are further victimized because no one wants to call out the adult. But this child will forever be grateful to them that they are, you know, her experience is not being pushed under the rug, and allow a child, apart from the trauma of being abused by an adult, just the trauma of being re-victimized and made to shut up and made to live with what it is that has happened to her and pretend it never happened to her. And
let me take this call from Chude, because in fact, maybe we should even pack this story. As I said, it's under investigation right now, but we need to talk about it based on the fact that it can happen to anybody. Let me take Chude. Chude, are you there? Oh, I'm so sorry. So
I wanted to quickly say that, you know, to join Miriam in commending the wife, you know, for a woman to do this, not sacrifice family for marriage. What you see women do is when incest happens, mothers sacrifice their children for their marriage. Women sacrifice their cousins, nieces, sisters for their marriage. Children for their marriage. So for a woman to say, I would risk it, whether it's a false allegation or not, I'm saying that she even tried to report it. It's commendable that she did the right things. She went to an institution, she reported. Such a woman should be encouraged by the system, not frustrated. By the system. Because it is 1 in a billion. It is rare to find.
Yeah.
We don't see women come out like this.
Let me take this call. I can come to you. Chude is back. Chude, are you there from Berger?
Yes, Morayo.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning, Morayo, and
The ladies
and others.
Yes.
Yeah, ladies on the table. It has been a long while.
Yes, good to have you back.
Yes, I want to comment about what you are talking about.
Yes.
You see, in my place, there is an adage that says, when a child is crying and pointing at somewhere, if you go there, it's either the mother is there or the father is there. So what Princess is saying, if you investigate it, she has a point, something is there. You see, I happen to have that experience going to a gynecologist who is a male with my wife. The way that man handles women is what I don't like a bit. And I don't think I can tolerate it. That is the reason why that period I decided to leave that hospital, because the man is not doing his job. And again, I am wondering, why is it that a female doctor consultant cannot handle the issue of a fellow woman? If it's left for me, I would say let the women go to the female doctors, let the men go to the male doctors. Because we hear a lot of nonsense going on. I have that experience. Some of them will want to do something funny, just like Nima said. And I can't come to see a doctor with my wife. A doctor is telling me to leave the presence of my... It's not done. Thank you very much.
Okay, so there's another... Okay, let me let you jump in here.
Yeah, because I was going to say there are malpractices. We know that some doctors...
Take advantage.
Yes. I mean, I've been to a doctor before where he was an Indian guy, you know. I went with maybe a headache, and it is my breast he was checking. I was like... You know, and I was really young then, and I was like,
oh, wow. What's going on? Yeah.
You know, and I remember walking away from the hospital and feeling really, really awful. But where some doctors are actually honest, some are a majority of them are actually genuine gynecologists. We are clamoring for female gynecologists. Like in Dubai, you can't see any male gynecologists there. They are female. My friend works there. She's female. Where will you put the male gynecologists if you want to say, okay, women shouldn't go?
Hey, but why? There's a procedure. So I saw several male gynecologists.
That's what witness with you. That's what they do.
There's one in Surulere.
It was examining you. Was a female nurse be there to
whenever you're doing that procedure, there's always a female nurse. There's always a covering. And every procedure he explains, but you would know those ones starting. I don't want to use the word. Those ones who they would disregard you when they want to do it. They are so confrontational. There's a language. I remember that particular one. If you don't come on Wednesday, I really will not be able to, and you know, this month will just pass. I had to start searching for alternatives. Then when the hospital changed that gynae because we raised that issue, the next gynae would regard you. He's elderly. He will talk to you about the procedure before he comes into that procedure. Then there will always be the matron, not just any nurse. You usually would request that the matron sets up the place and waits there before he proceeds to do it. So you know you're at least you're protected.
That's what the responsible ones
There's another angle that we've not talked about, which I think is important, because I know the Nigerian police are trying really hard to clean up their image. You know, they come up with all these tweets, keeping us informed, trying to tell us they send their officers new uniforms. They're doing a lot to begin to implement some of the things we demanded in doing NSAS. And this is another angle that I would like the Inspector General of Police to see to, because why is it taking a legal department 6 months or maybe 10 months, but let us, for the benefit of this conversation, 6 months to investigate and charge a case to court? That is the issue. If that can be answered by the Inspector General of Police, we'll be happy, because the truth is that if you're not well connected and this kind of case is brought against you, within 24 hours or 48 hours, being charged to court. But people are saying that maybe because Dr. Femi is Dr. Femi and is well connected, maybe that's why the case has been dragged. We don't know. But the legal department of the Nigerian police must speak to us and tell us what is taking so long.
Let me add, another angle is that the federal government, we need to sit up about the age of a minor. We have places where people are getting married to 12-year-olds, 13, 14-year-olds, and they have used their culture and different things to back it up. And then we have another person, and you know, someone could abuse a minor and say, well, I meant to marry her, or she's my girlfriend. So we need to, you know, legislatively, as a policy, we need to put an age that is acceptable. And for me, I think it's from 18, 19, or 20. For me, honestly, personally, I think it's 21. Yeah. Anything below that is she's a minor. So we need to do that. The Ministry of Women's Affairs needs to look into this.
So what about those senators that are marrying small children?
That's what I'm saying. What you're saying. Because you can defend yourself and say, I married this person is my wife.
Let me take Tayo.
Really, the Child Rights Act makes
Let me take Tayo. Tayo, are you there?
On the crowd.
Yeah.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I've always been trying. Concerning this issue, I have 3 kids, and one of the things I do while my wife was pregnant was that anytime she goes for hospital, always with her doing scans and others. But concerning, this is not an allegation, but concerning the doctor in question that was mentioned, last week my wife was telling me about this doctor. Because in our hospital, in our former office, there was a time they did the cervical screening stuff, and it was the doctor that led the team to come and do it. And she now mentioned it to me that this same man, maybe my wife also was watching online, this same man, after examining her, told her, oh, woman, don't you have a child? She said, I have 3. He said, oh, but you still look very tired, that you have cheated nature. And she said, oh, I had a 3 via CH. So the man examined so much that could be saying that, oh, admiring a woman, so was still very tight. And eventually she even mentioned to me that our friend, the doctor told a friend also in the same office, saying that, oh, after examining, oh, that on the private side you look very beautiful, that you look attractive. I didn't hope this, I didn't want to believe when the story was flying, but when I started now discussing it from the bedroom, and from what she said, telling my wife how you have cheated me, so you are still very tight. So, but my opinion is that she has the 3 kids through the government hospital. I guess sadly for now we are not hearing these things from the government hospital, general hospital we have in Lagos.
Right.
All
right, so these kind of things happens around the world. You know, molestation, medical malpractice, where you take advantage. And because the system protects you, if you make a report, you're almost sure that you get some kind of justice. And the reason why we make it such a big deal here is because many of these cases go unheard. Nobody knows about them. In this case in particular, our desire is that the investigation is expedited and taken to court. But as I said, there are still allegations. I mean, as much as we like to assume this is exactly what happened, it's always good to hear both sides. And that's why I had to call Dr. Femi this morning, because I know him. And I've been examined by him. And I don't want to believe that that examination was recorded or in any way. I want to believe that it was a clean and true examination that happened. So it's important for us to hear from him very clearly. We also called him during the show, and he said that he's not ready to join issues with anybody at this time, that when it is time, the facts will be released. We're waiting for the facts. Let us see what other facts you are. But as of today, what we have on social media, what we've heard from Princess, is that this young girl was violated, and she's been confessed, and Mirabel Center has examined her and confirmed that she was indeed defiled, and that the wife has filed, is the one that has raised this issue, and hopefully we can get some kind of investigation.
The truth of the matter is that he does need to defend himself.
Yes.
Because the allegations are too...
weighty.
Yeah, for him not to at least come out and make a statement, deny, or, you know, he really does need to defend himself.
He needs to either not be there, not that a clear case of setup. You know, his statement, the statement bothers me. He said, this is for my wife. Yeah. He made it a domestic issue, and then said that this is a clear case of setup. Yes. You don't want to be set up by a girl under 18, under the Child Rights Act.
Or by your wife, either.
No, leave your wife issue. If they are setting you up, let it be a girl above 18. Under the Child Rights Act.
Oh, I just got what you're saying. That even if you're going to set you up, is he a minor? Okay, got you. Yeah.
Don't just be set up. Have a clear case. It's either I did not do. It's a case of I did not do safe. Let the fact just say he
because
did
he's
it.
a really popular, big. I mean, these are people that.
There
was an event he did that about 10 governors' wives showed up. These are
Dr. Femi now, a phone call and everybody
very high net worth person.
So women.
And I can understand. He's very popular. I mean, he's like the reference point for breast cancer. When you think breast cancer, the first thing you need is Dr. Femi Olaleye. So that's why he needs to say something. He needs to hopefully defend himself and let us know what happened.
He needs to have his day in court also.
When it's in court, they don't say anything. If the case is already with lawyers, they don't say anything until the case is done. But with the police, they've said that they have not filed it yet. So I feel that this is a good opportunity to speak up for himself.
I'm sure they will file it in the next 2 weeks.
I hope so, because the idea is that the reason why we cannot just look away, because it could be your niece tomorrow.
Yes,
it could be somebody's child tomorrow.
It could be you.
It could be somebody. So we cannot see a case like this and look the other way. We're doing it not because of this case, but for other cases. We need to let the police know that we are watching and we're putting them under pressure. The legal department of the Nigerian police, because the police has made a lot of allegations against the Nigerian police, and they must come out to show otherwise.
I still can't forget this young kid that they brought on our show that was defiled by her.
Oh, yes, that little girl.
You know, I remember that.
I wonder whatever happened to her.
Still disturbs me till today. And I do not believe that child got justice. She was about 3.
Little girl.
Yes. Little child.
Little child.
And the police at that time covered it up. And I can never forget it.
Yes, I remember that case. Let's take a few comments on social media so we can run off. We have to wrap up the show very soon. A few good comments or not so. Let's not get any.
Ogumola says, here in the UAE, every obstetrics and gynecologist doctor or specialist have female assistant with them. What do these vagina and all gynecologist assessments for them? I see why Islam protects women's privacy now. Tom Odim says, if Nigerian police really want to work, they do. But if corruption is involved, they compromise from sex scandal issues.
Yeah, so Williams Olajimoke says, I believe this is where women should step up and support this cause. Breaking the barrier is not just about mouth. Everyone should come out and see judgment delivered. Rolake says, we have been silenced by society to conform with things that are absurd because the truth has a price. If the adults refuse to stand for and by the truth, we will continue to breed a toxic environment. God bless Princess.
Ayobam King says, sexual assault is not based on your professional. Any man if he do such should be dealt with. Doing such should be dealt with. You're saying male medical personnel using their professional doing such is not really truth. What about pastor, imam, teachers, neighbor, and so on? We took one this morning on the front page.
On YouTube, there are some arguments. Some are saying, how do you know he's guilty, you know? So, but we have said it here that it's alleged. It's an alleged...
Okay, we have to wrap up. But as I said...
He has to come out and defend himself.
We have to wrap up. But as we said, these are allegations leveled against a very notable, locally and internationally recognized doctor who has done a lot of good work to help breast cancer in Nigeria. I mean, we cannot totally even look away from his achievements in cervical cancer and breast cancer in Nigeria. This is a man that's done a lot of... So he's highly revered and respected. So when an allegation such as this is leveled against him, it's not something we can just talk without proper investigation. That's why this case has been taken to court. And has been taken to the police, reported to the police, but it's yet to be taken to court. And we're wondering what the delay is. And we understand the police might be reluctant for various factors, but we are hoping that we are joining our forces to pressure the police to do proper investigation. If at the end of the day, Dr. Femi Olaleye is exonerated, absolutely. Everybody goes back, life goes back to normal, and then he can begin to rebuild his reputation. But unfortunately, if he's indeed found guilty, then he has to deal with the consequences of that action. So, but either way, investigation must go on, and the case must be filed to court, so we can have proceedings, and we can follow the case. That's really what Nigerians are asking this morning. Nigerian police, the ball is in your court to do the needful.